Hello, thank you for joining. Today we're going to be talking about our concrete waterproofing technology, specifically our spray applied technology from a contractor standpoint. Let's get started. So this is our next generation of spray applied integral waterproofing. First of all, a little about our company. Alchemco is a global manufacturer of integral waterproofing products for concrete and masonry structures. We're based here in the United States. We're an innovator and technology leader around the world, and our products are aimed at waterproofing concrete, although we also have accessory items for cleaning, patching, maintenance, and repair. So we have the entire system. These products are generally used on infrastructure type projects, parking ramps, highway bridges, stadiums, ports and marinas, water treatment plants, dams, tunnels, things like that. This technology was created in the mid-1970s, so it's been out in the world performing and protecting concrete structures for 45 years in 75 countries. The product penetrates below the surface of the concrete 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch deep, forming a gel that waterproofs and protects the concrete. And this is true waterproofing. It's not damp proofing. It's not a water repellent or a water retardant or a sealer or anything else. It's like the difference between having a water resistant watch that you can wear in the pool or the shower, or a waterproof scuba diving watch that's rated for 300 meters. This is the scuba diving watch. Provides long-term protection, which is something that's a little bit unique in our industry. We talk about protecting things for decades, not years. The products are environmentally safe, water potable certified, having passed the NSF 61, no VOCs. They provide long-term protection. They're cost effective. It's a safe and easy way to install, very fast applications, and it's safe for the guys to put down. And it's vapor permeable, so it allows the concrete slab to breathe. As I said, potable water certified for NSF 61. At Alchemco, we hold quality and workmanship in high regard. We understand that we can make a very good waterproofing product, but unless the right contractors are putting it down in the right way, we're still not going to get the results that we want. So we have a certified applicator program that trains contractors with our factory field techs. And we're developing a nationwide network of those right contractor partners. We're looking for high quality contractors, not the high quantity of contractors. These certified applicators are trained both virtually online and also on the job site with our field techs. This rare combination of a proven waterproofing system and the good factory trained contractors gives the owners peace of mind that their project is going to last as long as possible. For certified applicators, some of the advantages, it helps you differentiate yourself from the competition. Fast application means less disruption for the owner and operator of the facility, so shorter downtimes. Fast application also means you can get on and off jobs faster. Crews can do more projects per year. Only small number of certified applicators are allowed to bid on Techcrete 2,500 jobs. You realize higher profit margins on projects because everybody doesn't know what the unit price should be. Long-term waterproofing protection offers 20 and 30-year labor and material warranties, which is also helping you to differentiate yourself in the market. This is, again, protection for decades, not years. This is a picture of a project over in Australia that was done in 1988. At the time, the parking structure was 20 years old and leaking. They waterproofed it, and 5 years later, it was tested and confirmed watertight. 5 years ago, in 2017, it was again water tested. That's what you see here on the left, and again, 100% watertight. These laminated PVC are filled with water here, and they measure them. These three were actually on top of an original crack that was leaking back in 1988. The other three are on the concrete slab. So there's 34 years of watertight performance without any interim maintenance or reapplication. Here's some projects around the world: airport in Australia, indoor water park in Bahrain, floating dry dock in the Pacific Ocean, an aquarium in Norway, the Christ the Redeemer statue in Brazil, Sao Paulo International Airport, an industrial complex in Ukraine, highway bridge in Thailand, a water treatment plant, Peru, Christ the Redeemer, or Christ the King Cathedral in Brazil, the Leonardo da Vinci Airport in Rome, power plant in England. So this gives you an idea of the types of projects, the scope and scale of what these projects can be. We have 5 brands in Alchemco: Techcrete, Crete Pro, Bridge Deck, Duratite, and ACR. The top 3 are waterproofing, spray applied waterproofing. The Duratite is more of a crystalline technology, repair products, and ACR are accessories. And we'll go through those quickly here. So the Techcrete line is our specification driven line. It's spray applied, it's gel forming, it's long-term one-time application for the entire history of the project. You can see here it's used a lot in parking ramps, stadiums, water treatment plants, balconies, planters, and has great life cycle costing. And as I said before, no VOCs and potable water certified. Our Crete Pro line is also spray applied and gel forming. It's meant to last 5 to 15 years, depending on which product. We've got several products in the line. And it's also used on the same types of projects. This is used a lot of times by contractors that have their own private work. It's a little less expensive, but again, the time frame's a little shorter. It can also be done by maintenance teams, DOTs, things like that. It's material only warranty, and it's also VOC free and water potable certified. The Bridge Deck line is aimed particularly at bridges, tunnels, and dams for the DOT projects. Also material only warranties. The Duratite line, as I said, is crystalline technology, usually used for below grade repairs where you've got leaks coming in groundwater through the slab. We also have a temporary roof system for coverage on concrete decks due to the supply chain issues and the delays in getting the permanent roof system. And then our ACR products, we've got cleaners and etch, we've got solvents, and we got enhancers and accessories for the waterproofing. And here's a list of all the different things that those products do. So again, full system of products. Again, some of the additional key benefits for contractors: speed and ease of application. You can make a high profit margin. You can make more money than you are on the coatings. Small crew size. These are generally 2- and 3-man crews, not 6, 7, 8-man crews. Inexpensive to gear up. Long product shelf life. Environmentally friendly products. It's an exclusive group of certified contractors. Can offer extended labor and material warranties on the Techcrete line, which is something that you can't get in the rest of the industry. Our field reps are driving specifications. They're bringing jobs for bid. Full training and technical support from our technical department and our field tech guys out on the job. And then there are other certain certified applicator benefits in the program. So in essence, you get to set yourself apart from the crowd, all the guys you're competing against all the time. This is going to be something that you can offer that probably they cannot. How our spray applied waterproofing works. Here's a quick video showing the gel formation. This is a demonstration we do for architects and engineers and owners when we're doing lunch and learns and things like that. In essence, there's 2 pieces to this puzzle. We've got our waterproofing agent. We're pouring that into the cup right now. As you can see, it's clear and colorless. It's also odorless. And then the second part is our accelerating agent, which speeds up the gel formation. And once those react inside the concrete, not on the surface, but inside the concrete, it forms this gel that plugs the pores and capillaries and cracks and things, not just that are in the concrete now, but even future cracks. And so that's this is what it would look like inside the concrete. It will seal cracks up to 2 millimeters wide at the time of application, which is about the width of a car key, so a pretty substantial crack, and also hairline cracks after that up to 0.4 millimeters. Our Techcrete 2500 was voted most innovative product at World of Concrete in 2020, the last time they had the competition. Very proud of that. And this is what it looks like. So you can spray this out of backpack sprayers if you want. So there's not big intensive equipment costs. One guy spraying out of a backpack sprayer will be able to cover about 3,000 square feet in an hour for each of the applications. This can be used vertically or horizontally. So here, this is on a below grade application on a project. And then after the waterproofing is done, of course, they would backfill against this. If you're doing a little bit bigger projects, you can spray directly out of a drum. Here you see a 2-man crew on a parking structure in Bloomington, Indiana, and they've cordoned off an area to allow the cars to go by. This is very user-friendly from that standpoint. Within 6 to 8 hours, the areas are trafficable, so you don't have to shut down areas for long periods of time. And doing it this way, you can get about 15 to 20,000 square feet per hour of per application. And then if you do decide to gear up, this is a spray rig on one of the projects that's got a 10-foot spray bar, and that white container holds a 55-gallon drum. So you do 11,000 square feet before you'd have to fill it back up. Anyway, this is a 1-man pull behind, and you can get about 25,000 square feet of coverage per hour doing that. After that dries, we water the surface, and the watering is a very important surface preparation. It doesn't just clean off the existing extra waterproofing, but also it more critically starts the gel formation inside the concrete, because you need to have 3 things for that gel to form. You need water, you need calcium, which is in the concrete, and you need our waterproofing agent.